What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. Right now, I feel like $100,000.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
Dr. Jeremy Weiss here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders like the founders of Einstein Bagels, RX Bars, P90X, and many more. I wish John Wooden was still around so I could talk to him and how they overcome big challenges in life and business. Our sponsor today is Rise25.com, which helps service professionals, doctors, lawyers, accountants, coaches, anyone working with clients one-on-one, stop just trading time for dollars and shift from one-to-one client work to one-to-many client work. You can go to Rise25.com. There is a free dream product ladder which helps you plan out your business on one sheet of paper and see untapped revenue potential, which is interesting. And companies like Disney, Apple, the sporting industry, they all use versions of the product ladder. I'm really excited. Today we have Jeff Moore, president of International Pacific Seafoods, which is a specialty importer of premium, quality, chef-ready, frozen seafood to the food service and retail segments. Jeff has led the company expansion from 11 million to over 30 million in the past few decades. He knows a thing or two about business. They have customers such as Cheesecake Factory, BJ's Restaurants, House of Blues, and many others. We're going to talk about everything, Jeff. Entrepreneurship, kids in entrepreneurship. There's so many lessons that I love when you talk about this. So first of all, thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it.
This is really cool. It's an honor.
So with the Wild Thing seafood, you loved it. It was doing well, but just not as well as the other piece. Yeah. And you got some advice, though, on this, right?
Well, the advice, advice from the owner.
Yeah, yes.
He just said, I don't know what your advice you're talking about.
Well, the Claim Jumper founder, right?
Yeah, he was the founder of Claim Jumper, sold Claim Jumper in 2007 for the highest multiple ever paid for a restaurant chain, ever. Until Portillo's was just sold for 1.1 billion.
I didn't know that.
It's
wow.
A ridiculous number. He was like, you know what? He goes, this is a lot of fun. I can see what you're doing. He goes, but Jeff, $2.5 million a week, $40,000 a month. He goes, if you put the kind of energy that you put into this, into that, he goes, just think about it. And it's a different energy, but that's where I got into that authority model, where it's like, why not write some of those emails? Why not write something that's like a deep dive, like a conversation that's super shareable, like not just like, hey, this person learned something, but they're willing to share it. It's so easily read with no jargon that they're eager to share it.
Yeah. They're
super confident to share it. And so we started the deep dive report just not too long ago. And that authority model in B2B, especially if you're an established business, you've got a Rolodex, you've got a list of names, an address book, right? For people that don't know what a Rolodex is anymore. It's like you say an e-ticket to your kids at Disney. That's a real e-ticket. They're like, a what? It's like, oh, you got to remind them what an e-ticket was at Disneyland. There was the ABC. It's like, never mind. But you got a Rolodex. And so what I did is I took that Rolodex and kind of, I didn't take this from Ryan Levesque, and he didn't take it from me. That's whatever. But we all have our own way of getting there. But I have what I call buckets of influence, right? And so I've got in the supply chain where you go from, the guy that's pulling the fish out of the water to the guy that's receiving that fish off of his boat to the guy that's now the primary processor, to the secondary processor importer, which is me, to the distributor, to the wholesaler, the distributor, to the end user, all the supply chain. Well, within that supply chain, there's buckets of influence. And those buckets of influence have a similar conversation that goes on with it, right? And so I was able to take these buckets of influence and not put them and tag them into an AWeber or MailChimp or an autoresponder like that, because a lot of these corporate entities like Cisco and US Foods, they've got these filters that block that shit out, right? But I did, and I went in and I put all of these in Excel spreadsheets and put them into my Google Docs, right? And then I got yet another mail merge, which is the Gmail mail merging system.
Right.
And I literally, for everything that I do in the deep dive report, I will write an individual email, eight emails. Wow. 8 emails to these people and share that link with them and give them context in that thing, right? Because context is God. And give them context in this. And boy, I'll tell you, if they didn't share that like crazy, and I tested it. The first one I did on Mahi Mahi. And it was called WTH is going on with Mahi Mahi. I mean, for somebody outside the industry, who gives a crap, right? But this inside the industry. But I used those buckets of influence. I let them know that it was being shared on LinkedIn. That article that I put on LinkedIn was viewed over 10,000 times.
Wow.
The next one I did on the pokey business, because the pokey ahi pokey, and winning the pokey war once and for all, which is still a really compelling title if you're in the pokey business, right? But I haven't done the buckets of influence in that yet. It's only been viewed 2,000 times. So everything's a test.
5 times the.
Yeah, everything's a test. And so just being able to watch how that, that works that way. And then the next one's going to be on alternative species of seafood and turning alternative species into destination dishes in the restaurant. There's just a whole list of things. One of them's like, we talked about taking the knife out of their hands because it's hard to control it. So that title is drop the knife and step away from the fish, just like I'm a kind of a cop walking in the back of the kitchen, and so all of these things. And you infuse
your sense of humor in there.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, it's just, and when people, like I had, do you know Roy Furr by any chance?
Yeah, of course.
Case.
Yeah.
So funny. Dude, love the guy, full-blown nerd though, right? I mean, he's a sweet guy.
He loves his techno music. Have you listened to his, he'll actually mix techno music.
I haven't heard that part of it.
Okay.
But I will get on. Literally a car. I'll rent a car. I've got business to do in Houston, Texas, but then I've got a conference in San Antonio, and I will literally, as I'm pulling out of Houston, I'll pick up the phone and call Roy Furr, and we're on the phone all the way to San Antonio. I mean, it's there, and talk about an awesome conversation. So right after I posted the thing and put the Mahi Mahi one out, I get a phone call like a Friday morning early, like I'm just working out. I'm riding on my bike. I go, I'll get off my bike. I'll talk to Roy. I'll go for a walk. Roy starts telling me about the dynamics of the way I write. Which
you're a serious student of direct response and copywriting. I mean,
total.
Yeah.
Total. And you know what's funny is my mom was a huge inspiration. You know how my mom was a huge inspiration with my writing?
What's that?
I would write, like back in the day, you'd write your report, and then if you had a cool mom, she'd type it for you. And my mom was a mentor teacher, 40 years in the education. So I'd write, and she'd type. And so I'd be in one room, and she'd be in the other. And every so often, my mom would stop, just like gasp, and just yell out, "Jeff!" And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "You are a moron." I was like, she goes, "Who writes this way?"
That's not where I saw that going.
No, me neither, right? So she goes, "You are a," she goes, "Jeff, I will not type one more word for you until you stop what you're writing and read what you're writing out loud. Because what you're sending over to me is literally like the dumbest person in the world." And I was just like, "Oh,
thanks for boosting my self-esteem, Mom."
Oh yeah, that was right. My dad won't let me sell him candles unless I can read them upside down. My mom was like, but she's loving it. I mean, obviously, but that's just a moment that sticks. But it was it's truly about being
that's a great lesson.
Being that, but the authority thing is where you really can speed your authority by writing something that has no jargon. That literally says, what is, like questions again, right? What is going on? What does this mean? Now, there's something important here. What does this mean to you? What does this mean? What does this mean to you? And what can you do about it? Right? No jargon, very purposeful, right? And now you're putting yourself in that kind of consultative, authoritative position But here's the real trick to this. I'm writing it to the end user, right? This is the guy who downstream, this guy, everybody's doing everything upstream to please, right? I'm writing it to him, but I'm writing it for 1, 2, and 3 people removed from him that are still ultimately influenced.
It's tough to do.
Yeah. No, you just still write it to him. Yeah. It's just about taking all the jargon away. And then in those emails that I send, I provide that context. So somebody goes, I can't wait to read this. Oh my God, I can't wait to share it. And that's where this kind of authority model, if you can nut up and understand that, hey, not everybody's going to read 1,600 to 2,000 words, except the one that cares.
Right.
And if you write it in a conversational style, you piece it together like that, you use all the structures of single sentences and, fewer words and, less compound sentences, all those different things that, I'm sure I pulled up from Bond Halbert stuff here. It's that stuff really plays in. And I can't believe how fast, aggregators are picking up those articles. I'm like, what the hell? I just started this thing. But my point to that is like, you know what? The truth is the truth, and the truth is binary. If you know in your heart of hearts that this is going to benefit your business, being the authority is going to benefit your business, there's not a broader truth.
Right. Why wouldn't it? Yeah.
It's the truth. Do it.
Yeah.
Right? It might not happen now. It might happen in 2 articles from now. It might not happen 10 articles from now. But guess what? Gary Vaynerchuk did 1,000 wine library TVs. The first 100, nobody watched.
Right.
But today, people are watching his stuff.
Yeah.
Right? He's stuck with it. So,
Jeff, first of all, I want to be the first one. Thank you so much. This has been super valuable, and everyone should check out internationalpacific.com. I don't know where else should we send people to check out?
If you're in Orange County or you're in Southern California, because we get people that drive from Indio, Esther will drive from Indio to come here. People from San Diego will drive up here and down from Santa Barbara. You can go to ThursdayNightBoardroom.com.
Cool.
And join. You have to sign up. It's free. It's always going to be free. I get people at the end of every one of these sessions coming into me with like a checkbook or a credit card, and I'm like, I don't know what that's for.
Buy a bag for the fish, but this is free.
Yeah, buy some fish. Yeah, but so it's free, but it's valuable, and it does have a cost, and that means you've got to come in and you got to bring it. This is not going to be your intellectual entertainment, and it's going to be.
You got to participate.
Yeah, so internationalpacific.com and ThursdayNightBoardroom.com, and actually, what's funny. If you're like, hey, well, how do I get a hold of Jeff? Go to internationalpacific.com and look at one of my articles. I put my email and my freaking cell phone number at the end of every one of those articles that I write. So,
and I know we're at the top of the hour. I just wonder if you have a few minutes to talk about the philanthropic piece. Do you have to? I don't know if you have to get on that call.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that. Like we were talking
but
about.
I wanted to hear. I mean, I just don't want to skip over that because I think it's an important piece. Also, yeah.
I think that I grew up with being very active in a lot of philanthropy, and I just think that the purest sense of community comes through philanthropy and giving. And we've been doing the food for Swim with Mike, which is a fantastic program that helps students. College students that are unable to fulfill their obligations for scholarships, or even students that might have become injured or ill before they went to college, but they were superstar athletes and they were on their way to getting a scholarship. Swim with Mike provides those types of resources for these kids to fulfill their dream of a college education, and that's something that we're behind big time. But it's just it never ends. To me, I hear so many people. Oh, I just want to give back. It's just like, okay, I want to just give. I'm not even sure I'm at that give back part yet. I just love like giving, and like I said, it's the purest sense of community. To give of yourself, to give of your resources, and so I mean that's kind of a good point. But like Swim with Mike, I mean that's just to me one that's been part of our family for 35 years, and now my dad's retired, and he he's had a great relationship with Ron Orr, who's the assistant AD over at USC, and even though I'm a Bruin, we're still, here we're brothers, and he's actually a Beta, so I'm a Beta, and so we're both we're truly brothers. But I have that relationship with Ron Orr, and I'll carry on that tradition if for no other reason than to honor my father and honor his wishes. Not that he's dead, but honor his wishes as we go forward. And so, philanthropy, I think that everybody knows what that's about. It's just like, again, it's the purest form of community to me.
Yeah. Jeff, thank you again. I wish there was a video I could watch your grandfather's 5-star sales approach. That would be awesome in black and white or something. But thank you again. It's been an absolute pleasure.
This has been fun.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other